The real estate market, as we know, is not a one-size-fits-all, and that's especially true when comparing York Region and Durham Region. Now, while I work at both markets, they move very differently, especially for first-time homebuyers. Durham Region still has an average price point under that $1 million mark, making it very accessible because there's still many options, including detached homes for under that $1 million price point. Meanwhile, in York Region, finding a home under $950,000 is rare. You might see maybe some options in Georgina or Newmarket or the condo sector, but a 3-bedroom freehold townhouse or even a detached home under that $1 million price point, it's almost unheard of in most areas. Now let's break down what has happened in both markets because 2025 seems to be off to a little bit of a slow start. So starting off with prices, in both regions, they have remained relatively pretty flat year over year. Prices haven't moved much since January of 2024. So comparing December 24 to January 25, we've seen a slight month over month decline. Durham sits at just over 896,000, which is a 3% dip since December. And the average price in York Region was down 4% from December, sitting at just over $1.2 million. So we're no longer seeing these dramatic price drops that we obviously did before in the recent years. At this point, we have enough data to confidently say that the market has likely found its bottom. Now here's a graph that showcases the rise and the fall in prices and the stability in home values that we're experiencing today. Real estate seems to be back in line with seasonal norms and will continue to ebb and flow as it does. So the average price for a detached home in Durham Region is just over $1 million, but when we dig deeper into the various cities, you can find many detached home options under $1 million in Brock, Clarington, and Oshawa. York Region tells a little bit of a different story. In York Region, the average price of a detached home is $1.577 million, with the least expensive area to purchase a detached home is Georgina, sitting at $960,000, and the most expensive being King City, sitting at just over $2.15 million, followed by Aurora. Now, if you are contemplating a move in York Region and you want to stay underneath that $1 million price point, then you'd likely have better luck shopping in the freehold townhouse segment of the market. And even better luck if you're considering obviously a condo townhouse or a townhouse. Now, the difference between those two is that one does have a maintenance fee. Now, I know a lot of people kind of like scrunch their face at the fact that they have to pay maintenance fees, but sometimes it could be the difference between you starting your journey within home ownership or not. So what I would focus on is properties where maintenance fees are low and where they cover things like utilities to offset the costs a little bit. One of the biggest things that we've seen to start off this year is the surge in new listings and active listings, which kind of makes sense to me because many sellers wait until the new year or the spring market to list their homes, and many sellers tend to hit that market early to avoid seller competition. So January's numbers often look staggering in comparison. And we know here that the typical spring market starts in February. So looking at new listings, they are up 47% in Durham and 86% in York Region year over year. And these months over months percentages increase of 150 and 180% might make your eyeballs want to jump out of your head, but keep in mind we're comparing that to from December to January, and December is a time where obviously the market is very quiet because really we only have 2 weeks worth of real estate going on within that month. Active listings are following a similar trend, and if you watch my other videos, I do explain the difference between active listings and new listings. So active listings are anything that is left over from the month previously. So comparing last January to this January, we've seen 87% more homes roll into the next month in Durham and 74% in York Region. So inventory levels are continuing to climb. Now, although we do have an influx in listings, there's still not enough quality choices for buyers. Now, what I've been noticing when I'm viewing properties with my clients is that many homes on the market are not presented their best. There's little to no staging, the photos often lack quality, and as a result, homes are sitting on that market for much longer. Now, I can understand why some home sellers might be a little bit hesitant to invest in staging, especially with the possibility of longer listing contracts, but presentation still makes an important difference and a huge difference. Now, something that we build into our business at Prince & Co. is that we offer complimentary staging to all our clients because we believe in it so much. It has proven time and time again that we outshine the competition, resulting in higher sale prices and quicker sales for our clients. So if you're a buyer right now, there is a great opportunity to take advantage of the current inventory levels and the way that homes are presented. I know a lot of homes online don't look picture perfect or magazine like quality, and it can be tempting to just kind of scroll past them, but instead focus on the things that really matter, like the floor plan, the neighborhood, the lot size. These are features that you can't change. I know it's easier said than done. Buying a home is such an emotional process, but if you can look past the furniture and the staging or lack of, and imagine the space as a blank slate, that you might just uncover a fantastic home at a great price. Home sales in Durham region seen an increase of 21% from December, but comparing the market to last January, we seen 9% decline. Similar situation in York region, however, December we seen 7% less homes sell and 17% less year over year. Which brings me to my point of pent-up demand. So GTA's spring market typically kicks off in February or early March, but this year it seems that many sellers listed their home in January, hoping to beat the spring competition. The problem here is that sales are not happening as fast as listings are hitting the market yet. So right now we have stronger supply side than the demand side, creating an interesting dynamic. It's because sellers are waiting for buyers before that they can become buyers themselves. And the reason I say this is because even with these market shifts, more supply, less demand, prices are still holding strong and stable. If homeowners are rushing to sell because they couldn't afford their homes or some other sort of panic was at play, we would see home prices fall since there's more sellers on the market than there are buyers, but that's not really what's happening here. February will be an interesting month, and I believe that we will start to see things pick up as inventory starts to get absorbed, but we will also see even more homes hit the market because people, I think, are just tired of putting their life on pause. Many people have simply been delaying their move, and I've been hearing this conversation over and over again, especially for the last year, kind of waiting to see what happens with home values and the overall economy. And I think that people are starting to feel that regardless about the noise, about the economy, that they're hearing about the media, they're looking at the personal situation and seeing if it makes sense for them financially now than it did before, since the rates have been continuously coming down and home prices are becoming more stable. Now, as we move into the spring market, it's going to be crucial to watch how quickly homes are selling and whether buyer activity does pick up. So stay tuned for my next month's update. I will be breaking down what happens as we head deeper into 2025 spring market. Ciao for now. Catch you on the next one.